it's amazing. We see a building from the 60s where they had none of this science working for them that actually worked intuitively, instinctively. So my first question is to Elena, if they had to start over on Bosco Verticale, what would be the one recommendation that you would give them?
I would suggest them to greening also the floors of the terraces, to give the idea of a more green space, a more private space and possibility to use this green, not just to visualize the green, you know?
I'm very interested by this technology for the greening of the interior, but the question comes regarding the maintenance of the natural plant filters, in that if you're putting them in public areas where there's a lot of traffic, human traffic movement with clothing and lint and human skin and all the rest of it that goes on, how do you maintain those plants to retain a high, fresh appearance at the same time as them doing a first-class job of filtering the air?
It gets back to the original design, choice of plant material, having an effective management plan and a maintenance plan in place at the outset, and bear in mind that this is a biological system which is self-regenerating. Plants regenerate themselves. Now, obviously, some plants will need more maintenance than others, but in general terms, if the plant system is properly designed, then maintenance is no more different than maintaining the air filters in the air handling system of the building or any other maintenance parts of the building. It's just needs to be part of the overall building operation. And using the PLEMA system and the building control system that we've developed, you obviate a lot of these issues.
If I can just finish with that, is the issue that with the plants out in the natural world, they get a rainfall occasionally that helps to self-clean the leaf surface, but inside a building there's no natural cleaning process, so the self-regeneration must be in some way retarded or restricted.
Well, that's true, but plants have a natural ability to produce their own humidity, and so far our experience has been that this is not an issue, not a problem.
The two major contaminants in most of the urban areas, PM2.5 and ozone. In Beijing, the PM2.5 count can get as high as 800 micrograms per cubic meter. Do you truly believe that filter can filter PM2.5 and ozone and deliver pure air? Well, I'm not talking about formaldehyde, VOC, I believe those you can filter. I'm specifically talking about PM2.5 and ozone.
Okay, just in a preamble to answering your question, plants can cope with 5,000 parts per million carbon dioxide. And in fact, in Europe, they actually introduce additional carbon dioxide with propane burners to get better growth. Plants evolved with excess capacities. Now, whether this is from volcanic activity, which produced a lot of volatile organics into the air, sulfur dioxides and so on, but I don't know that anybody's tested particularly for the capacity of plants to remove high levels of ozone, but particulate matter is not an issue. The particulate matter is drawn through the plant root system and becomes part of that system.
Do you have any data that can prove PM2.5 can be filtered by the system I saw today? Well,
there hasn't been any detailed research done on that, but we know that less than 1 micron particles are absorbed by the plant root system.
Somebody said 94% of all the building stock in cities are old buildings. The opportunity to retrofit them, would you recommend regreening them, and would it reduce the global warming or the heat island effect in cities?
It's a very valid question, and thank you. The heat island effect can be greatly reduced, of course, by reducing the amount of bitumen and concrete cover that makes up the surfaces of our urban environments. And when we deal with our urban concentrations differently and reintroduce biodiversity corridors and meaningful landscaping for recreation as a continuity, we can bring down that heat island effect considerably. At the moment, the continuous systems in our cities are the transport infrastructure, the roads, freeways, etc. If we swap those and our continuous systems become the biodiversity corridors, we'll get a corresponding improvement in human health and air quality. There's no reason why they can't overlap.